Fit to Love is physical, emotional, and spiritual fitness to achieve the happy life you deserve. From exercise to cooking, relationships, and spirituality, you'll find all the inspiration you need right here with our host, JJ Flizanes.
Welcome to Fit to Love, Movement Mondays, all about exercise, all about movement, all about you. If you have an exercise you'd like us to address on a future show, please make sure to send us an email, info@invisiblefitness.com. Enjoy the show. Today's show, 5 exercises to start rehabbing your knee joint. So when we get started with this, I first want to just make the disclaimer that depending on the injury, some of these might not be appropriate. Depending on the injury, if you still have inflammation, you're going to need to heal that first. This is for when you don't have any more pain or you have a very small amount of pain. Again, the injury could be you've torn something, then you need to heal. And ice and maybe physical therapy will be appropriate. This is for when you're ready to start exercising again. Or if you haven't had a knee injury but you have knee pain, all of my personal clients, especially men, who had knee pain, once we do these kinds of exercises, knee pain goes away. And most of it is because we're not doing those connective muscles, those smaller muscles that people don't consider functional, even though of course they're functional, they hold you together. When we start focusing and concentrating on those, it helps to better stabilize the knee joint, which alleviates the pain. Not to mention, a lot of exercises people are doing for their lower body focus so much on the quadricep or focus so much on the hamstrings that what happens is an imbalance of strength in the body. And when it's so imbalanced, those strong muscles pull and they're going to pull that joint potentially out of place. So you want to make sure that you're doing a well-rounded program to strengthen all the muscles surrounding each of your joints for the optimal performance and optimal strength. The first exercise we're going to do is a tree. And this is going to work on ankle stability and hip stability as well as just overall balance. I'm going to start doing this in bare feet, and I would recommend that depending on how good your balance is that you start with shoes. Shoes provide a structure and a container to help you with your balance. As you get better at doing it in sneakers, then take the sneakers off and do it barefoot. That will make it a little harder and it will involve more of the muscles in your feet. So you're going to start with your feet hip width apart. You're going to transfer your body weight to one side, and then you're going to gently lift the other leg and put it next to the ankle. What's working in this is my foot muscles, my ankle muscles. My knee is not doing anything because it's locked. So if you feel any pinching or pain in the knee, then maybe don't do the exercise right now and come back and try it at a later date. But really there shouldn't be any pain in the knee because the knee isn't bearing any weight. It's all in the foot. And your abs and your core can help stabilize you, and then your hip. So where you might feel this is in the feet, in your ankles, in your calves, potentially in your hip, hopefully in your hip, maybe even down the back of the leg or in the glutes. Make sure to use your abs and hold them in nice and tight in order to maintain stability and balance, and hold it for about 60 to 90 seconds. The second exercise we're going to use to help rehabilitate your knee is going to be standing hip flexion. Now we've done this in a past video before on the show, so you can go back and watch that as well, but we're doing it again here. And the reason that we're doing it is because it combines static stability with dynamic motion. So it's taking the tree and then adding other motion. And the reason we're doing this is to, again, increase the stability of your ankle joint and of your hip of the standing leg while simultaneously building and focusing on the quadricep and the hip flexor of the moving leg. So the standing hip flexion is going to start off just like the tree. You're going to start with your feet hip width apart. You're going to transfer your body weight to one side, and now you're going to point your toe and lock your knee. Visualize and mindfully connect to the quadricep muscles in order to pull the leg off the ground. Now the reason why this is rehabbing the knee, A, your knees aren't bending. Both knees are locked, so the knee shouldn't have any irritation or really be supporting any resistance. 2, we're going to add more resistance with moving that leg to the standing leg, again, further increasing your ability to stabilize your ankle joint and your hip joint. So again, keeping a more solid connection of your knee. What's also happening is that we're really activating all the muscles of the standing leg in an isometric way to create stability. And this will help you in the future when choosing exercises and helping to, again, rehab the knee. The third exercise to start rehabbing your knee and building stability in those ball and socket joints, the ankle and the hip, is going to be standing abduction. That's a lateral side motion where the leg is moving away from the body. So you're going to start the same way as we did the tree and the standing hip flexion with this switching your body weight to one side. Now you're going to lift up to make sure that your body's not leaning and counterbalancing the leg. And you're going to use your little abductor muscles, which are this big on the side. They're not your thigh muscles. Your thigh is comprised of your quadricep in the front, your hamstrings in the back, your IT band in the middle, which divide them, and then your adductor muscles on the inside. Your outer thigh is not actually your outer thigh. Your outer thigh is right here. So that's what we're focusing on. You're going to lift that leg with your abductor muscles as high as you can go without leaning or using your hips in a funny way. So you're just going to honor your current range of motion, whatever that is, as far as you can go out, and then come back down without putting your foot on the ground. And again, we're going to pull the leg out and then bring it back in, making sure your knee and your foot are constantly facing the same direction that you are and that you're not rotating your hips out. You want to make sure that the toe and the knee never move because we're just using our lateral abduction motion. The fourth exercise, now that we've worked on the outside of the hip, we're going to work on the inside of the hip because again, both of those muscles help to stabilize your knee and help to balance out the quadricep and the hamstring as well. The adductors are muscles that go from the inside of the pubic bone to the inside of the knee. And again, it helps with stabilization of the knee, and the only way to really resist them with weights is to go down on the floor. So that's what we're going to do. Now, you can use ankle weights or you can use just your body weight. The weight of your leg may be enough. Please start there. The taller you are, the heavier your leg's going to be. So if you're short, you're not probably going to feel a lot of resistance, so go ahead and add some ankle weights. I have 5-pound adjustable weights, but you can go up to 10 pounds. Start small and try 30 to 40 reps and see how that feels, and if it's not enough resistance, then go ahead and increase that. You can lay down, and there's no rule for whether or not you're holding your head up. I prefer to go down here, and the reason is so I can concentrate fully on the inside of my leg. You're going to cross the top leg over the bottom leg, and we're going to focus on pulling from here all the way up here as high as I can go without pushing down into the floor. So we are concentrating on just moving this leg by using these muscles. So you're going to exhale as you pull the leg up, and then inhale as you come down, but don't rest it. And you're going to exhale up and inhale down. This is going to work on activating and turning on some of these ankle and knee and hip stabilizing muscles that a lot of times we ignore. The fifth and final exercise to start rehabbing your knee is going to be prone hip extension, and we're going to do this face down on the floor. We'll go over this in more detail in a future show, but if you have any questions about any of these, please come to the site and write a comment and let me know, fittolove.tv. So we're going to start. I'm going to use some ankle weights, but again, your leg may be enough resistance for you. Again, the taller you are, the more your leg weighs, and the shorter you are, the less it does. And that lever length is going to affect the amount of resistance on the muscle. So we're going to focus on contracting from the hamstring. I'm going to lie face down. I'm going to put my hands together and my forehead on my hands so that I can relax my shoulders. Now, I'm going to turn my head so I can keep talking to you. But when you do this, I want you to be face down. If you're claustrophobic for some other reason and you don't want your face down in your carpet, go ahead and turn your head, but make sure when you switch legs, you turn your head to the other direction. Because as you turn your neck, it affects all the spinal muscles. So it will change it. So we're going to go face down, making sure that both of my hips are sort of evenly placed on the ground. And I'm, again, going to focus on locking my knee and pulling from right below my knee and lifting just ever so slightly. You don't have to go too high. And do not push with the opposite leg. I'm really focusing mindfully on pulling from the back of the hamstring and then coming back down, but not resting. And this is going to start to build the hamstring muscle. It's going to activate your hamstring muscle. Most people aren't that in touch with their hamstring muscles. I'm also going to be relaxing everything else, and I'm going to build the stability for that knee joint in the back and in the hip. So these are 5 exercises that again are going to work on ankle stability and hip stability and strengthen all the muscles around the hips that create that stability for your knee to keep it connected in a balanced way that doesn't put any pressure or stress on one side versus the other or on your ligaments. There are a lot of other exercises that you can be doing, and depending on where you are with your injury or with your musculature or with your fitness level, these can be adjusted. So just know that these exercises, try them out. Start with one set of maybe 25 to 30 reps for each exercise, and then wait a day or two and see how they feel. If at any time you feel a pinchy, sharp pain, stop doing it or change the form. And make sure, very important, to watch your body. Watch your form. Don't do these without paying attention, because that's when injury is created. And when it comes to your joints, especially your knee, every little inch in position that you turn is going to affect how the muscles contract and which ones are lengthened and how they balance out that joint. So again, try a set of each, 25 to 30 reps, see where you are, and good luck and let me know.
The Fit to Love podcast show offers you 6 days a week of helpful content to achieve the happy life you deserve. Movement Mondays and Tasty Tuesdays are weekly videocasts, while Wellness Wednesdays, Thoughtful Thursdays, Freedom Fridays, and Sexy Saturdays are audio-only shows themed every week to address your holistic life and needs. If the show inspired you, we would love for you to share it and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us today. Head on over to fittolove.tv for recaps of every show, resources, and to join the community. That's FIT, the number 2, LOVE.tv. Have a fit and fabulous day.